Hey everyone, this is the tutorial for the Iron Glory template. It's a new one. Wanted to do something a little patriotic. I've had a few requests for something like this. Um, so here it is. So I wanted to come up with something that you could also use for just traditional multi-sport looks. So with this, you can turn these flags on and off just to kind of do a more traditional look, or you can import your own state flags or whatever you want to do. Anyway, so I'll start from the top here. So we have like a vignette for the whole design. These metal textures for the top and the bottom. These text plates, these iron plates or whatever. You got bolts in there as well. This bottom text group will just take out the text and the plates. So there's a lot of layers within folders here because there's a lot of layers to this template. So I'm trying to organize them as much as possible. So you might have to dig deep to find some of these layers, but I'm going to walk you through it. So that's the bottom text, and you got your subject folder here, your flags that you just saw me turning off. Then you got another metal texture for your top text layer here. And then within these text layers, you have another metal texture to kind of intensify it. And it'll also go across the actual fonts, the text. Now let's fold this up. Let's see. Then you got your background smoke. You can kind of go through them, turn them on and off. I have two layers of smoke. So you can turn one off just to make it simple. You can turn off the big layer here, and then you just have a little subtle layer of smoke there, and then you got this kind of background glow if you wanted that right behind your subject. I'm going to turn that back off. I don't really want to use it with what we're going to do today. And then you have just your background, which is another metal texture that you can't really see with the smoke on, but it's back there. So if you want to turn the smoke off altogether, it's back there. But as you can see, I have my background so dark that it's not making, you can't really see it's there anyway. But we'll play with that. So we're going to change this out to another sport, soccer player for one of the schools I do. So I want to make sure my auto select up here is turned on. This is just how I do things. You can do it however you want. You can come over here to the subject folder if you want and click the subject. I'm going to turn on auto select. Click this guy right here in the middle. It automatically selects him. I have a subject here. I'm going to pull over. It's already been extracted from the green screen. I'm just going to size her to fit how I like. I'm not going to get too picky for tutorial purposes. Just keep this as short as possible. I'm just going to kind of throw her right there. Looks good. Come in, I'm going to hide or just delete this guy. All right, so their team colors is orange and green, but this jersey is just orange and black. So again, for tutorial purposes, we're just going to kind of stick with this, make it look right. All right, so I'll start at the top. I'm going to close or minimize that subject folder. We're just going to start playing with the text first. I want to come over here, grab this text tool, and you can just click on any of these text lines. Here, I'm going to zoom in, just anywhere. Then Control or Command A will do all, and I'm just going to type. East Lincoln is their school. I'm going to click the little check mark that was up here, and then the next word which is the team name. Command or Control A to select all, and I'm going to type it out. There's also going to be multiple text styles in here, which I'll show you. So Mustangs, this is soccer. So let me go ahead and show you how those work before I start playing with color. So there you have one text style. So you'll look, when you open up that top text folder, you'll see text 1 and text 2. Let's turn that one off, even though I just typed it out. It's okay. I just wanted to show you how it works. Text 2 will work the exact same way. So I'm going to click up here with my text tool. type that out. Same thing here. Command or Control A. Mustangs. Now let me show you, if you want these to spread out, these letters, or kind of condense, just while it's still kind of flashing in here, while you still have the text selected, Command or Control A again. Then I'm going to go to this little character icon right here. If you don't have it, it's going to be in your Windows here. Just click character right there, and it'll open this up. So once I open that up, you'll see this VA in a box with the arrows going out, and then that number. I just highlight that whole number and use my bracket keys, or my arrow up and down. And as you see, it's just kind of spreading those letters out. Just going to keep it back where I had it at 25. All right, let's change this to soccer. Hope I typed the C 2 times. I'm going to spread that out a little as well. If you hold shift, it will go faster. So we're just going to keep it right there. Now here's what's cool about these. All right, so for the text 2, well, let's back up. Let's go back to text 1. If you want to change the color, just highlight the whole thing again. And then up here, just go to the color swatch and change the color to whatever you want. So say we wanted this orange. I want to use that eyedropper. And just kind of grab that orange. Might desaturate it just a little. So you can do that. You can do that with all the text here, and that's including the bottom text. That's how that will work as well. I'll keep the top and bottom white. All right, let's close that again. Let's go back to text 2. So if you're wanting to change these colors, that's built in within the actual fonts. It's not fonts, but each layer for each text. So you'll see gradient overlay. You can turn that off if you want. Let's do that middle one first. It's the easiest to see. Turn that off if you want and just have a solid color. Let's get this guy out of the way. But I like the gradient. I'm going to keep it on. So let's get some of her jersey color in there. So again, with that, this darker gray, because it's going from like a white to a dark gray, I'm going to click that little icon there, this color right here. It's going to bring up your color box. Let's grab this orange. We'll see what it did. It just kind of made that orange. So I want it to still be a little darker, so I'm just going to come over here, make it like this burnt orange. And saturate it just a little more. So something like that. So that's how you can do these gradients on the text. Let's click OK. Again, I'm not going to go through and do each one because they all work the exact same. I'm going to leave it like that. Let's go to, you know what, I'll use this image for one of my samples. So yeah, let's just go through and finish it up. So I'm doing the top one now. I'm going to, actually, here's another thing I like to do. So we did this middle one already. Let's double click that gradient overlay again. Let's click it. Let's click this little icon again as if we're going to choose a different color. So you see where it's at. I'm just going to Command or Control C and copy that orange. So now what I'm going to do, this makes it way easier. Whoops, sorry. I'm going to go into all of these gradient overlays. I'm Command or Control V. I'm just going to put that orange back there. So as you see, this top one kind of looks the same. Do the same thing here. Click that gradient. Click this icon. Command or Control V. Paste it in there. Perfect. Now that we have that icon selected, or sorry, that color selected, let's go in and change some of these plates. All right, so first off, once we get through the text layers here, whether you're using text 1 or 2, doesn't matter. I'm going to keep it on 2 for now. We're going to go down here. The next thing you see are the bolts up here. Now let's zoom in. So you see those there. This will brighten them or darken them. And then if you want to, right now this set of bolts has like this white, this set has this blue. So right now if you do color overlay, it's not really going to do much to it. unless you go in here and turn each one off. If you want all the bolts to be the same color, just turn top bar 1, top bar 2, the color overlays off. Now they're the same. Now this will work. I just have it set to like a white right now though. So I'm going to turn these back on. Yeah, I'll turn them back on. So what I'm going to do, hold on, let's see which one I'm, top bar. So that's these white ones. So let's keep those white actually. I'm going to keep them like that. And then the bottom bar, which is down here, I'm going to turn these to that same orange we just used. You know what? No, I'm not. I want to make these white. Actually, I'll make them a little, actually pretty dark. Let's keep them like right there. Now this top bar, let's make those orange. Just make sure you're in the color overlay. Control V. I'm going to put that orange back on them. Actually, let's go a little desaturated, a little lighter, just a little bit. There we go. Cool. Now that's that for the bolts. Now let's get to these two big plates here. So that's going to be in this folder just called top. It's within the top text folder still. Let's open that up. This one's not too bad. It's just 4 layers. You got these little corners that you can't see because the flags are in the way. Let's go ahead and turn those off actually. Let's scroll to flags, cut those off. And I'll show you some more of the effects that are on the flags here shortly. I just wanted to show you, if you wanted, it's got these two little color, little wing tips if you wanted to use them. Just have them there. For this, we're going to keep it kind of simple and just do the 2 main plates. Alright, so you have top bar 1, top bar 2. Top bar 1's the top main bar. Didn't know what else to call it, so I just called it a bar. Anyway, let's just turn that like a dark gray. So we're going into color overlay. Sorry, for those of you who might be speeding up, what I'm doing is just clicking, double clicking the effect down here. So I'm double clicking that color overlay. And that automatically brings up the color overlay. So I'll click the color swatch and I'll just come over here and grab a desaturated gray. Or what you can do is use your color picker and just pick like the gray in her jersey. The lighter or the darker. Let's do that. And again, you can copy that if you want. That's okay. And then this bottom one, we're going to use that same orange. So actually, I'm just going to pick one from a jersey again. And then let's bring it back down just a little. So something like that. Alright, so there we have it for the top. So what I'm going to do, real quick, come back in here. Well, I'll show you. Let's stop. So now let's work on the bottom. Also, if you wanted, you can not use the bars at all. And let's turn the bolts off and you can just have the hovering text here, which I've used a lot, just for an even more simple design. But for this one, I'm going to turn that back on. Again, you can leave just the bolts off if you want, for a little bit of a cleaner look. You could even turn the metal overlays off. So like I said, there's one within here. So here's, you can turn this main one off if you want, and you still have a little bit of a texture. Or you can turn both off. We'll see one down here. And then that's just a very clean look as well. So let's turn them both back on. I'm just going to keep them on for now. Actually, with her, I think I like it with them turned off. I want to keep the bolts off as well. Just a very clean look like this. And then let's move down here to the bottom. We're going to do the same exact thing. So the bottom text is actually going to be towards the top of your layers. Just because it's overlaying her, so we've got to put it towards the top. I'm not going to use text 1, I'm going to use text 2 again. And what we're going to do is come back up here, and I'm going to grab that orange again. So I'm just going to click in this gradient, click in here, Command or Control C, and copy that. Alright, let's go back to the top text. Alright, so here's the bolts. Let's just cut those off. I already showed you how to use them. Let's turn that metal texture off as well. Yeah, that's a pretty cool look for just that smooth. Anyway, let's see. Alright, so the bottom. Here we go. Nope, the text. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's go in here to the text. Let's do the name. We'll click this gray again. Command or Control V to paste that orange in there. I'm going to do that with these other two. Click that gray, Command or Control V. And the same down here. There we go. Right. So this has, as you can see, a lot more layers to the bottom. There's all these different little accent tips. So I have them kind of documented here. So we're going to go and do that dark gray for the top main. And you could turn these on or off as you wish. Really the only one that looks good, like if you wanted to turn these little accent pieces off, you kind of keep this little tip here. Let's do that actually. Let's keep it simple today. I'm going to turn those, the accent right 1 and right 2 off. Let's turn the accents for the left side off. I have them labeled so you can see. Alright, so this bottom corner, I'm not going to copy the color up there. I'm just going to do another kind of a dark gray. Almost, actually what I was doing was grabbing it from her, wasn't I? Let's see. Yeah, we'll keep it there. And I lied. I am going to copy that gray, because we're going to apply it across a bunch of these down here. So that's the bottom corner right. Let's do the bottom corner left. Grab that, Command or Control V. So with this template, if you're moving colors around, it's just a lot of copy and paste really. And then this main center, that'll be the bottom bar 1. We're going to change that to the gray as well. Nice. There we have it. Let's go back up and steal this. I still have auto select on. So let's steal this color for this orange. All I did was make sure my auto select was on, and I tap it. That's simple. Now we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to come back down here and just, with auto select on, I'm just going to click that bar. Do color overlay, Command or Control V, bam. It's done. So that's really it. Again, if you don't want the bars at all, you can come up here to the bottom folder and just tap that. You might want to adjust your subject. Here, let me show you the subject mask. So if you want to do that, I'm just closing everything so it doesn't turn into such a mess. Just go right here to the subject layer, click that little chain link right there. Turn auto select off and select the mask, and I would just use your arrow keys and just bring that mask down. If you want it to move down faster, hold shift, and you see that mask is going down. Her legs are showing more right there behind her text, so you could do something like that as well, which again, I don't mind having just the iron texture bars up here and then the floating text here. Do that. While we're here, let's fix her. I'm just going to put her first name here for now. And we'll do senior right there. I don't know what my computers did. It freaked out. Leave it there. I'm actually going to come back to the subject, and I'm going to raise that mask back up just a little. Sorry, I'm not. Alright, I forgot to click move, the move tool. Alright, now I'm going to move that back out, and I'm going to put that link back on there. So I want to keep it there. Let's go to the flag now. I'm not going to use it for this design, but if you wanted to, I'll show you the different options here. All right, so let's open this up, and you'll see saturation. Sorry, I need to rename that to desaturation. So you turn that on, it kind of desaturates it just a little. Feel free to go in there and make it a little more intense. Black and white just kind of does the same thing, desaturates it. As you can see, it's set at 35. If you want that to be a true like black and white, just crank it up to 100. Which would look pretty cool with some designs that are more, you know, muted color tones or something. And then contrast, if you wanted it to be even darker, stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to keep all that off for now. So here's, right now you can see it's kind of on top of the smoke in this top layer. If you want to change that, just grab the whole folder and drag it down, like below the smoke. And what I like to do from here is even lower the opacity just a little. Then you can also get in here with the smoke and just maybe keep that one turned on. Maybe the glow. Just get in here and play around, see what works best for you. If you want to take the smoke off the edges a little more, just click that mask. Get you a big soft brush. Now let me show you. Up here on your flow, do like 20%. Just make it bigger. And just brush away some of that smoke. Sorry. Make sure here, hit D to do black and white on your brushes. Make sure down here that black is your main color. And just kind of brush some of that smoke off the flag. I would take 2 or 3 big strokes across the flags, and you see here we kind of toned it down a little. So go back to flags. I'm going to lower it even more. So that's how you can just play around with the different flags. If you need to move them around, open it up, open the flags folder, click each one. I would turn auto select off on these, because when you click it, it's probably going to collect the fog or something like that. And then you can just kind of move those around. You can resize them, whatever you want to do. All right, so let's turn that off. Trying to think if there's anything I haven't went over. Oh yeah, let's go over the background. So let's just click this color fill right here for the background color. And let's try an orange. Oh, let me zoom in. Right, let's double click that again. Click this orange here, and as you see, it's really bright. It looks brighter than it does on the swatch. That's just because that smoke layer is there. So what I like to do is just keep dragging it down, or the color and the saturation here. So you still see a little bit of that texture back there. You see some orange poking through. So something like that would look cool. Again, it's fairly simple modern design here, so you can turn that metal texture off in the background again if you want. Just kind of tone that down a little bit since we have it so clean looking. I want to go back to the smoke layer. Since I kind of took the smoke off the side, I'm going to take a little bit more off. I want to make sure I'm on that mask. I got my black color at 20%, big soft brush. Some of these edges here I'm going to take down. And if you want to add more smoke, I do offer a smoke brush. I know everybody in the world's offering those now, but feel free to check mine out if you want. That's how I created all this. I'm going to turn this back glow. I'll keep it on. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn my auto select back on, click her, and just holding shift and my arrow keys, I'm just going to shift her over a little bit more. So she's kind of centered with it. Or if you wanted, you could do the same thing with this. Just click the subject glow, hold shift, and just use your arrows with that if you wanted. Just be careful if you're moving that it's not giving you some kind of weird line here where the smoke might be going over the document size. Anyway, so that's it really. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm here to answer as much as I can. All right, thanks guys.